All right, YouTube, once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast, talking a little bit of Auburn football. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. All right, so Auburn actually takes on Kent State tomorrow under the lights at Jordan-Hare Stadium, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. Number 8 team in the country taking on Kent State, who cannot recruit to save their lives. Speaking of recruiting and a lot of other good things as it relates to an athletic department, Auburn has actually been, the Board of Trustees has approved a standalone facility for the football team as far as the athletic department goes. A lot of folks are like, what is the big deal about facilities and having your own building, so to speak? Well, for one, you want to put yourself in, when you talk about business and you're talking about being, very, very highly competitive, you want to do what your competition is doing, especially your high level competition. You look around the SECs and you look around Power 5 football, your Clemsons, your Oregons, those types of teams of the world. Alabama, excellent facilities at Alabama, excellent facilities at LSU. Georgia coming along quite well as well. Auburn rubs shoulders with these teams on the recruiting trail. So guess what? You want to give yourself the competitive edge. You want to give yourself a selling point when you're recruiting these kids. Number two, you want to show that football, from a perception standpoint, is important. When you're combining football with all of the other sports, facilities-wise, you're just really not showing that to kids who are coming to the campus. You're in conjunction with basketball, baseball. It just shows a lack of priority. And when you're trying to sell a product, you have to show priority, and you have to show that you're willing to put yourself, set yourself apart from other universities who are not doing, making that facilities a priority. Another thing too, when a kid chooses where he wants to go to school, as far as football goes, facilities are so important because this is the stuff you're going to have to work with for the next 4 years. This is going to be your environment. This is going to be your domain for the next 4 years. And in your decision making, you have to make sure that you're very comfortable with the domain that you choose. And you got to live with it. And nothing says, we care about Auburn football more than a standalone facility for the football program. I think this is a huge move. I think this is a huge step for the Auburn Tigers in the right direction in building a solid program. You talk about the 2019 recruiting class, very, very effective recruiting class. These guys have made an immediate impact. You talk about Bo Nix, Owen Papo, Derek Hall. All of these guys are already making an immediate impact. One thing you want to look for in a recruiting class, when you start talking about ratings and rankings and all of those different things, it's great to have a 5-star recruit, or 2 of them, like Auburn had this past year. However, the roster is built right there in the middle of the recruiting class. You want to fill that middle part up with 98s, 96s, 94s, 93s, 92s, and then it tapers off at the very bottom. And even when it tapers off, it still tapers off in the it still tapers off in the late 90s, early 80s. That means your quality is still there. And those guys, it may take a little bit longer development-wise, but they still can develop into good players, i.e. Jeremiah Denson, who was an 83 rated recruit. I think that's like a low 3-star. Okay. Now, back to the subject on facilities. This, at the surface may not seem to be important, but Auburn has to do this, because if Auburn ever wants to get to the point where they're attracting some of the best, most elite athletes in the country, they're going to have to get a little bit more competitive with what they can sell to the players. All right, guys, look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. We're going to do some game day stuff, talking about how, what Auburn and Kent State have to do to be victorious in this particular game. I'd say Kent State does not have a chance, but you got to take it one game at a time, and you never know. On any given Saturday, anything can happen. I sure hope it doesn't happen this Saturday. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger. War damn Eagle.